Hey babe, I just hung up the new TV and it's way too small. I think we can at least get a couple more inches on either side. I'm gonna go back to the store.
What? Seriously? A bigger TV? Of course, Jill, but let's do the extensions this time. Since you're going out, could you run to the store and pick up some groceries? We're having spaghetti tonight with a side salad.
Hey Bill, were you able to reserve my season tickets for this year's football season? Wait, hold on a second. I've gotta grab this case of beer. We're out at home.
I'm just wondering, do I look prettier as a blonde or brunette? Blonde. Spruce up the roots and throw a few extensions in there.
Babe, I'm here in front of the beef. Do you want fat, no fat, organic, non-organic? There's so many options. What do you want?
I definitely don't need more fat in my life. Just get the organic. I've heard organic's better.
I'm in front of the noodles. Do you want gluten, gluten-free, organic, non-organic?
Trying to be healthy can be so confusing. Just buy whatever free, and once again, if it says organic, buy organic.
Hey babe, I'm in front of the salad. Do you want the salad in a bag, or do you want me to go around and get some organic produce and build it ourselves?
Just get the organic. You say this really helps with anti-aging? Is there a monthly subscription?
Oh, whoa. $38.74?
$38.74?
Well, we were out of beer at home and I picked up a scratcher.
Still, that's way too much money. We can't afford that. Just get the beer and the scratcher and pick up some takeout on the way home. This whole making your own food and trying to eat healthy is way too expensive. I'm exhausted. Yes, I'll take a double shot hot grande caramel macchiato, extra caramel, stat.
Eating healthy on a budget can be difficult, especially with the rising cost of food due to inflation.
However, there are some simple ideas that can help you and your family enjoy healthy meals without breaking the bank.
Here are some tips on how to make healthy eating more affordable for you and your family. I'm Dr. Dusty.
And I'm Ray. We believe healthy living doesn't have to be complicated.
It starts with a new mindset and education.
Join in on our mission of living better every day.
This is a great place to start. Do you have a food budget for yourself or maybe for your family?
Since we need to eat, this is something that we just expect to spend money on throughout the day, week, month, and year.
But do you end the month with, well, guess we can't go out to eat tonight, or, oh, how did I spend that much money on the grocery bill?
Or are you well aware of your food budget and you end the month with maybe a little extra to spend on a family pizza night or use the next month?
Here are some great tips on how to create a food budget. First, go over your last few months of food expenses. These expenses would be your grocery bills, eating out, quick stops at the gas station snacks, your drive-through coffees. Yes, everything that you put in your mouth and your family's mouths for a month.
Second, see what the average price is when you compare those months.
Third, decide on what amount of money you need to set aside on a monthly basis for your food expenses.
Fourth, keep track as you spend during the month. This will keep you and your family accountable to the budget you decided on. If you need help tracking, there are several amazing apps out there to help you keep track of your expenses.
Do you already track your food expenses? That's great. I feel like food is sometimes a hard category to track because it's hard not to act out impulsively in the moment when hungry or craving something that's staring me right in the face.
Food costs money, and that's always been the case, but there are some ways to maximize your budget to get quality food that will help save money and support your health.
Did you know that the average weekly grocery spending for a moderate budget of a family of four is $292, which comes up to around $1,150 to $1,250 per month? If we were to look at the lower end budget, the average weekly cost would be $235, or between $936 or $1,014 a month.
Did you also know that the average American dines out about 6 times per week and the average household spends about $3,500 eating out annually, or just under $300 per month?
These are just numbers. We don't know what types of food people are ordering when they are out to eat or what types of foods they are buying at the grocery store. But we do know that 70% of food out there to buy is ultra-processed foods, fake foods. These foods seem cheap, they never go bad, and they are very convenient.
All that sounds very tempting to the monthly food budget, but these foods come with a fine print, a very fine print that will affect your quality of life, maybe not immediately, but definitely in the future.
If you don't spend your money on good quality food in the current moment, you're gonna have to budget out later expenses caused by chronic diseases created by bad lifestyle choices. Yep, those being how you spent your budget.
And according to Bloomberg, Americans spend more and more on prescription drugs, averaging about $1,300 per person per year. So just be cautious. What you budget out for now is going to support a healthier you in the future or contribute to some annoying conditions that could have been prevented.
Bottom line, we will always have to spend money on food.
The question is, how do we maximize each bite for our health so we don't end up spending our budget on prescription drugs later?
That brings us to our next topic, awareness in food choices.
Eating healthy is an important part of living a healthy lifestyle, but not all foods are created equal. Nutrient-dense foods and whole foods are so much better for you than ultra-processed, empty-calorie foods.
Through what we eat, we give our bodies the 6 essential nutrients that we need: carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals, and water. You get the opportunity to make each bite count and to enjoy it. But is each bite you take during the day equal?
Absolutely not. There are 3 different types of bites that we talk about: nutrient-dense bites, empty bites, and harmful bites.
Nutrient-dense bites. These provide higher nutrient density per calorie. They contain vitamins, minerals, complex carbohydrates, lean protein, and healthy fats.
Empty bites, foods that provide a lot of caloric energy without much nutritional value. Research shows that the standard American diet is energy rich but nutrient deficient.
Harmful bites. Fillers in food or ultra-pasteurized foods that create a sympathetic or stress response in your body.
Here are some examples of empty, potentially harmful bites versus nutrient-dense bites: sugary cereal or oatmeal or grain-free granola, French fries, sweet potatoes, sweet desserts, bowl of fruit, white bread, sprouted whole wheat grain, chips, crunchy vegetables.
One great tip to avoid empty calories is to minimize snacking or avoid it altogether, as most conventional snacks are full of empty calories anyways.
Eating whole foods can provide your body with the necessary nutrients it needs to function properly and keep you in optimal health.
Now we finally get to the main topic of this video. Can we really eat healthy and still save money?
Well, yes, when you take time to make a food budget and evaluate what you actually spend your food money on, it will surprise you how much you can minimize your overall spending on menial, expensive luxury snacks and maximize your budget on nutrient-dense meals.
The first way to save money and eat healthy would be
don't emotionally meal plan. What do we mean by that? Well, one example would be if you had a hard day at work, you throw in the towel and say, let's eat out. That's an emotional meal plan.
Or if it's been a busy day, that justifies a freezer meal of tater tots and maybe some chicken nuggets on the side. That's an emotional decision.
Or the house is a disaster. Well, you can't handle one more mess, so let's just get pizza. That's an emotional meal plan.
These emotional meal planning decisions can add up and be expensive.
And usually when we emotionally meal plan, we don't order healthy food.
Typically, emotional meal planning is anything but planned and healthy. I mean, it's a reaction outside of the monthly food budget and will quickly drain the grocery money.
Another great way to save is to quit snacking. Snacks are expensive and they tend to be packaged with unhealthy ingredients. Even if you spend $1 for a bag of cookies, it is still pricier than buying whole foods.
A wholesome meal, however, on an empty stomach fills you up for hours, and snacks are no longer needed.
You can still get good quality meat by getting the tougher cuts like pork shoulder, beef chuck, and stew meats. These will be cheaper, even with the organic and grass-fed options.
This is a great way to get fresh veggies and fruits at a much cheaper cost. They are just as nutritious and were frozen at their peak time of freshness. You can add frozen vegetables like green beans, peas, carrots, broccoli into a stir fry or curry.
I love adding frozen fruits to my smoothies, cobblers, or just sprinkling them on my yogurt.
If you don't already, learn to cook from scratch. Feeding a family on a budget and feeding them well is a learning process, and it is well worth the effort. Simple ingredients are much cheaper than ready-made food. Maybe you don't currently cook that much. That's okay. There are so many great resources out there. Trying out new recipes or simply chopping up some veggies can be a great way to learn how to cook.
Each time you try something new in the kitchen, your confidence will grow, and soon meal prepping won't seem so daunting. Practice makes perfect. If you stick with it, you can learn so much about cooking, nutrition, and healthy eating.
Need more help or some ideas to feed a family on a budget?
Check out our blog linked in the description box below. We also have our menu planning, grocery shopping guides, cookbook, and an entire program set up for you to start building a healthy life.
Check out that link in the description box below.
Trying to be
Babe,
healthy
I'm here in
can
front
be
of the
so
beef. Do you want
confusing.
fat,
Just
no
buy
fat,
whatever
organic,
free, and once
non-organic?
again,
There's
if
so
it
many
says
options.
organic,
What do you want?
Buy organic.